Are you there, Bill? Because if you're Bill, if you're there, I can't see you. Technical difficulties. One second, everybody.
You got me?
I can. Got you, Bill.
Okay, one sec. I'll go live. Okay.
All right. Good morning, Bill.
So no fancy intro this morning.
Yeah, well, it was
I'm
lagging.
trying I got an external like you. One second. See?
Nice.
And so when I set that up, it put Restream on its head for some reason. Didn't like that. So I'm just back to the webcam or the normal cam for the moment.
Okay, cool, man. How was the weekend?
It's good. It's good. Yeah, I mean, nothing specifically to report that was the ordinary. Just kind of did the thing. What about you?
The zoo was awesome. It was hot. It was really hot. And doing that with a mask on in certain areas was kind of an interesting experience because we haven't really gone anywhere, really, you know? And so being at the zoo, which is awesome, but in like crowded areas, and we had Michelle's daughter with us, and it was just, you know, it was a long day. It was a fun day. It was great, right? And then we came back and watched Hamilton, and that was awesome. But Saturday was good, or Friday was good. Saturday and Sunday were just kind of lazy. Didn't really do much of anything. I did a 5-mile ruck march yesterday with about 20 pounds of weight. So that took a while. And man, that was hot at the end of it too. I was wiped out. So, but that was good. And back for Monday, man. I'm ready. Let's go.
Do this thing. I love it.
What about you? What do you got today?
Well, I'm looking at my my cam here. One sec. I was gonna see if I can plug that in while we're doing something, but I've actually got a busy week. I've got quite a few projects I'm working on, just that are moving the ball forward type projects. Nothing like massive, just standard marketing things, but it's just more block and tackle work for stuff like that. I've got some stuff for Quirk where I'm writing some ad copy for ads we're going to be starting for our launch stuff. Of course, I've got my 10 Ask a Day that are on my plate, which that's the big one.
Mm-hmm.
That's trying to think specifics because it's really just like I need to write email copy for this. I need to write ad copy for this. I need to do video production for a client. I've got to introductory calls to potential vendors that can help me run ads, like stuff like that, just scattered throughout my week. And then I'm going to try 4 o'clock every day again this week. It worked pretty well last week, so just going to keep that ball rolling. So yeah.
I have a 4 o'clock call today, so I'm going to try to get some 4 o'clock stuff in there. But I think I'll probably be trying to do probably 4 to 5 this week as well. But really what I think I want to do is kind of start using that time from 4 to 5 to start building kind of like a wind down routine of like, cool, check everything one last time and really kind of like build that and cement it. So that way, because I just kind of like to stop working. There's no real wind down or anything else like that. And sometimes that bothers me. So I might use this time this week from like 4:45 to 5 to really kind of key in and build a wind down routine. So that way it's consistent and I just do it. I lost you. I can't hear you, Bill.
How about now?
No, I can hear you. Yeah, there he is.
Okay. Sorry, I'm tinkering while I'm listening. And
that's all good.
Clearly. Here, all right. Ready? You might lose me for a second.
There he is. I can see you. Can't hear you.
How about
there
now?
He is. Now I can hear you.
Okay. All right, we'll see how this works.
Yeah. So today I've got call with a client, call with a prospect at 4, and then I need to put in probably an hour with the new closer for my new client or for the client and go over some like setup stuff and tech stuff for that. So it's kind of my big 3 for today. What about you?
So today I've got ad copy I got to get to our vendor so we can get test stuff started. So I'm writing the seeds for those, and then they're gonna, of course, go through and test and do some variations and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I've got so I've got a call with a networking group I'm part of. I've got one-on-one call for potential referral source. So I'm going to meet with him. Nice. And let's see. Otherwise, the famous term, blocking and tackling.
Yeah.
Moving the ball.
Okay. Well, cool, man. So I'm just thinking about the calendar this week because it feels a little light, right? And looking at it, I've got because like my weekly goal is to talk to 5 people about what I do, right? Have like, agreed upon scheduled meetings, right? And so this week I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 4. And so I need to get 1 more. So like seeing that is kind of like, okay, I need to get 1 more on the books for this week. So that way I can feel good about hitting that kind of like, not like a lagging indicator, but a little bit laggier than the activities I do to generate these meetings, right?
Okay.
So I need to get 1 more meeting on the books, probably 2, because one of these I don't think is going to lead to much, but it'll be a good conversation. So I probably need to get 2 more meetings on my books this week.
Okay. And how would you go about doing that?
Probably just like social asks, do some posts and, do some reach outs, like the past couple of weeks, every time I put out the call for who wants to talk about sales like next week, I normally have 5 to 7 people who show up anyway. So probably do another one of those asks. I woke up this morning and was really kind of thinking about the differences between like Facebook and LinkedIn as far as like prospecting and getting in front of people and stuff like this. And it's so crazy because it's so easy for me to want to write off LinkedIn just because I have more, I guess, success on Facebook. But when I'm thinking about it realistically, I don't really know that the success I'm having on Facebook is indicative of like true success. Like I think it's attention, which is great. But in the words of my buddy Bill, we're supposed to be going for impact over attention. So
right.
I've been thinking about that a lot yesterday and somewhat this morning as well. I don't really know how to do that because like I feel like I've not like figured out, but like I've kind of got Facebook figured out, like like I'm more comfortable there, doing all this stuff than I am on LinkedIn. So I might be
Right.
doubling down on some LinkedIn time this week to see if I can get to that same level of comfort on there as I do on Facebook.
Yeah. I think that's funny because I actually had 2 people last week reach out to me who are pretty close friends and were like, I don't understand. I'm having a whole lot more luck on LinkedIn and I don't really spend that much time on LinkedIn. So I feel like I got to completely change my shift my focus. Cause I mean, it's just a matter of targeted versus non-targeted, right? I mean, obviously there's difference in strategy and, the type of
Sure.
feel on both platforms, but LinkedIn's a business platform. So
What's really funny is like my go-to is just to like post on Facebook, right? And
yep.
so I think that my algorithmic rating is probably higher on Facebook than it is on LinkedIn. So maybe I
Right.
need to
Right.
just start carving out 45 minutes a day of just like going on there, interacting, and then the last like 5 minutes is a post kind of deal. Because that's kind of what I've been doing on Facebook. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you said it, comfort's the word. You're
yeah.
comfortable on Facebook. So
Mhm.
yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I feel like can you unfollow in LinkedIn?
You know what? I don't know.
Because
Good question.
man, there's some
Let's try.
weird stuff on LinkedIn, on like stuff that people post, and I don't really care. Actually, do I believe that? I was gonna say I don't really care what you post, but I think I do on some instances. Like,
Okay.
and maybe this is just me being weird, but I don't know. Like, I'm okay with family stuff. I'm not okay with political stuff. Like it
Right.
really kind of bothers me, because it's just like, why are you dragging that in here, right? And then people are like, well, it's not political. Well, it is, right? Because they're tied to these other beliefs that are political in nature. So it's just kind of weird. So yeah, so family stuff, personal stuff, I don't really care. Political stuff doesn't really seem to have any place on there, but everybody uses it for their own ends. So
Yeah, I think maybe what's interesting is because I'm thinking about you saying that because I share that feeling like that. I just don't, when I'm on LinkedIn, I don't really want to hear about politics. But like if I were to ask myself, do politics tie up into business? And I'd say, yeah, they totally do. Politics and business tie together a lot.
yeah,
I think it depends on how they're posting about politics, right?
well, for sure, that's always that's always the caveat, right?
Yeah, for every platform, right?
Exactly. I mean, you can do anything on like any platform, but how you do it is really
Yeah,
important.
yeah. I was trying to find somebody that I follow and not actually connected with, and
Well, no, like I want to know how to like unfollow connections,
oh, I
right?
know,
Because like I really want to.
I know
I
you
really
can.
want to try to curate my feed on there as much as I have the one on Facebook, because like if I had that level of curation, then I probably wouldn't have any problems like messing around on there. And really, honestly, maybe the thing that I'm figuring out is that I prefer the range of Facebook versus the range of like LinkedIn, because I feel like a lot of people on LinkedIn are trying to do that kind of like networking thing of like, oh yeah, I'm so
Yeah,
busy, everything's great, and stuff like this, with the posts and everything.
right.
And whereas I feel like more people are okay being vulnerable and open and authentic on Facebook, and that might just be indicative of my vacuum.
You know
I don't
what's
know.
interesting about that is that sounds more like a Jake answer than a John answer, right? Because I'm sitting here thinking about I think the John answer, which is Facebook is supposed to be where you feel comfortable and curate your feed to a place where you enjoy having conversation. Even like I enjoy having conversation with people that don't believe the same things I believe.
Sure,
So,
sure.
so that's actually part of enjoyment for me. But for others, it's not. For LinkedIn, to me, it's almost the opposite. It's like if someone wants to be a part of you know, your feed or whatever, obviously you go pick the people that you want to follow around, whatever. But it's about business. It's about starting business conversations. And so I don't care as much over there about curating my feed as I do on Facebook, because Facebook's supposed to be more conversational and relaxing. And LinkedIn, I'm just there to dig into conversations and then try and start business ones.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I just look at it different.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there for a while I was really, really on the LinkedIn bandwagon, obviously.
Mhm.
And just here recently, I've kind of been like really, really off of it because
Yeah.
like their groups don't really seem to do anything at all,
No.
right? And everybody's putting up miles and 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 miles of content. So it's kind of hard to get seen. Not that that's like a good excuse, but I don't know.
No, I think you just see the ones that put a lot of content up because they're the ones putting the content up. I think there's lots of
For
room.
sure. Yeah. And maybe that's the thing. Maybe I just need to get on there and like hang out there for a while and really just kind of like find the holes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah. I think the main issue on LinkedIn is the, organic algorithm changed last year, at the beginning of the year, kind of in the last year. And so it's not a superpower anymore. It used to be a superpower. You could put your stuff up, you can get found, you can get 10,000 followers, right? Like you just had to do it right. Now I think it's more of where can you go find, like those soft spots, like you said, of conversation to go get in the comments and the DMs with people and rely on it way less for people to find you. You go find them, go use hashtag, go use whatever. And then you have content there. That way, when they come to check your page, you have content for them to look over and go like, oh yeah, this guy's good.
So, okay. So you said something in there that makes me curious. Do you think that LinkedIn is more for DM sliding than it is about, just kind of like putting yourself out there and allowing the algorithm, because like I post now, and when I post a good post and people share it or like it and stuff like this, I'll get new invites and stuff like that off of the post. That doesn't really seem to happen on LinkedIn.
No, it's not. Yeah, it's switched. I think the idea is to get into the comments and the DMs now of other people's threads, because you just can't do that like you used to do. It flipped over on its head. So, which is annoying because that's why I think a lot of people went to LinkedIn to start when it kind of rebooted 2.5, 3 years ago. But it's like every other platform. It goes through, a cycle, just like all the other platforms do.
Because you're on there more than I am. Because to me it feels very much like it's kind of like in flux, kind of this like middle ground of like it's not really sure like what it's going to like move to, but it's like testing a lot of stuff and trying new stuff out, and
Yeah, I think they're back to their roots, just a little bit more social about it. I think they're about jobs and training. I think that's what LinkedIn cares about, and connecting people to jobs and connecting people to leveling up in their career. And all the social people came over from other social networks and made it more social. But I still think that's ultimately, it's like when I taught a class a little over a year ago now, and one of the main points of the class was about social media was, if you don't know what the platform is trying to accomplish, you're not going to accomplish what you want to accomplish.
I like that.
Right?
I like that a lot.
So that's why it's smart to follow people who are experts in platforms, because you can figure out what's YouTube want right now. How are they trying to make money this year?
Yeah.
Great. Put yourself in their shoes and then make content that fits.
Yeah. I like that idea of like if you're not familiar with what this platform is trying to do and like what kind of content they enjoy and like pushing out and stuff like this, you're not going to be successful on that platform. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah. Facebook wants to put ads in your feed, so figure out what types of content they like and make that type of content. You can still be business and focused and have a strategy and have your funnel and all that stuff, but just change the front end. Like, what's Facebook like? Okay, well, that's what I'll start with.
You know what's so crazy is that for a long time, like I was writing everything under John Small Mountain and then sharing it under my personal and stuff like this. And now I've just kind of shifted to just writing directly under my personal, because the company pages don't get any love in the feed whatsoever. Right. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that.
I believe that LinkedIn, that Facebook, that probably Instagram to a degree, there's not as much of that over there, but they put business pages up because they knew the people that were spending money were businesses. And so they did that to please the businesses, to keep them happy. But they're not interested in putting business profiles into feeds on a regular basis. So
yeah, because the only time I see a business profile on my feed is when it's an ad, right? And it's saying, Jake Jordan likes this, do you want to like it as well?
Yeah, I even follow, or whatever, like businesses and people I have, friends with that own the business, and I interact with their business post, and they still don't show up in my feed.
Yeah, it's
They
it's
don't.
kind of now. I
Your
wonder.
website, I think it's like your websites on the social platform. So you use your personal platform. I still consult on LinkedIn a decent bit. I still have at least one client a month who comes to me and who pays me to do something with their profile and stuff like that. And everyone's like, "Oh, I got to get a business page on LinkedIn, right?" Like, depends. Why do you want one? Like, well, I've heard this, and this. Like, well, you can, but the whole point is they want personal profiles to do the heavy work, and then you point back to your business profile as like your landing page on the social media site.
Yeah,
it's like they gave you the opportunity to sell on their site so that they wouldn't lose you. You wouldn't go off to the website.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That is kind of crazy though. That those pages don't even show up in anybody's feeds. Like I wonder if that's because now there's Workplace by Facebook. Have you played with that at all?
A little bit, yeah, but that's more like an internal.
Oh, is that like a Facebook SharePoint kind of thing?
Yeah, I would say it's like a Slack, SharePoint, like internal. They want businesses to use it for like workflow, and then it's easy for you to connect, your personal profile. Just more data for Facebook.
For sure. Yeah. I had a thing pop up on Saturday asking me about becoming a mentor on Facebook. Have you seen this?
No, on LinkedIn I have, but not Facebook.
Yeah, so on Facebook, because we're part of Quentin's group, you and I both are that Strength on Purpose, and it popped up as a notification of like, hey, would you like to be a mentor for like others in Strength on Purpose? And I was like, sure, why not? And so like I feel like,
I bet that's a group thing.
Well, what happens though is that it's not, because I filled out the profile for the group and then I was like, I'm going to wait on this. And then I backed out. And the way that I backed out, I guess, put me into like the mentor pool, okay. And so seeing like lots of people that have got mentor profiles on there. So maybe it's becoming a coaching platform. I've seen some stuff about how they're going to roll out a CRM so that way you can like track conversations and stuff like that. So I'm curious about that. I'm curious to see where they're going to shift.
Yeah, it's interesting because, Facebook has email now, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes. So they're like alpha testing. It's not even beta. A couple of my friends got put on the alpha, and they have basically created a way that you can automate emails from inside Facebook if you make lead forms, so that you can make automated funnels inside of Facebook and never leave Facebook, and book and purchase, and then they're supposedly they're expanding it to they're gonna have two versions to start. One's kind of like that automated sales funnel version, and then the other one is like a newsletter style. So there will be a new button available on your business pages that's like join newsletter, and you can send the email from Facebook as a newsletter.
Really?
So I think they're just trying to be everything to everybody at this point. They kind of always have, right? I mean, Facebook's always tried to be like, come here and never leave.
The part that makes me worried about that is that I could see them being like, okay, we're going to prioritize internally built funnels and email over outside funnels and email. So all these people that are investing in Kartra and ClickFunnels and all, Podio and all these things, I'm not hoping for this, but it's a concern, and it would not surprise me at all that all of a sudden, like, completely internal Facebook funnels will get shown before outside Facebook funnels.
Absolutely. And I will never, ever give my lists to another platform than my own website, because there's just too many ways. Like, that's just one surface concern, right? Is like, I mean, what if you get banned? What if your thing gets suspended for 30 days? What if, what if? Because all this stuff happens and a lot of people don't hear about it. I've personally have two clients in the last 6 months that still can't run ads on Facebook for no reason. They won't tell us. They never respond. They just flat out ignore you. So can you imagine building like a 3,000 people on a email list on Facebook, and then all of a sudden you can't send emails 1 week, and you can't get a response for a month, and it takes you 3 months to get a resolve. I mean, imagine you lose a whole quarter and you don't have something else. So that's why I've always said that social media and ads are scale. It's just for scale.
Yeah,
So
I agree with that.
yeah.
Man, that's really interesting. I'm curious about their email thing. Not enough to go try to sign up for it, but I'm curious to see what it's going to be.
Cool. I think it'd be a great tool to utilize. It's just you can't rely on it, right? It's got to be one of the things where, what I would probably do with it if I was just thinking strategy is I would probably create an event to pull people in like you do like in person, and then have them sign up there at the event for the newsletter that makes sense for what you've put on. And then immediately, once they get on the newsletter, try and get them on my main newsletter. So it's like a double step almost, like a double opt.
Ooh, I like the idea of treating that like a double opt-in. That's really smart. Interesting. Okay. Well, man, I think that's kind of a good spot to like end it. You're out at the farm. Are you coming back today?
No, I'm gonna be here for a couple days.
Nice. Good for you, man.
So the kids wanted out and hadn't seen the parents in about 6 weeks, and they're only an hour and a half away. So we just hopped out here and work out here probably maybe Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. So I'm 3 episodes. I may be trying to find a more scenic spot for tomorrow's podcast. Just see if we can find another cool place to go.
That's pretty scenic, man. Like that's a pretty good spot.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm thinking like I could go out here somewhere, you know.
Yeah, that would be pretty awesome.
So we've got 2 tanks, and we've got cows, and we've got chickens, and we've got all sorts of stuff. So I'm like, there's a smoker up there. Maybe I could set up by.
Got to be careful. You're gonna end up like Michelle Stifler.
What is she out in the thick?
Yeah, they've got like 40-something acres, and they've cleared about an acre of it, and so they've got like the very first steps of like a multi-year, probably multi-generational like project that they've got going on. So
yeah, so Michelle, if you can see that, that's our acre and a quarter, the fence that's fenced off, and then we've got 26. So
nice.
Same idea.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, Bill. Well, let's go do a Monday.
Let's go do a Monday. Yeah,
let's do it like a Thursday.
Do it like a Thursday. Do it with some urgency. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
All right, man. Cool.
Thanks,
See you
John.